Hello, everyone. Samantha-Jayne Love here, and we are here for Love Talk. This is Thursday, the 2nd of September, the second day of spring. I am outside in Ballarat. It's a bloody cracker of a day. It is a absolutely beautiful spring day, and I can feel all of the particles in my body just come alive.
Feel that too.
We
From you.
yeah. This is the Maitreya, and every Thursday from now on, until you get sick of us or we have got nothing left to say, which is probably never, because we've always got something left to say. We wanted to come on every Thursday and give you tips and tools of how to deal with life when things are uncertain. We're living in very uncertain times at the moment. There's lots going on across the world. There's floods, there's this, there's that, there's so much. There is just so much that we wanted the collective to be able to learn from our knowledge. And if we don't know something, if you want to post questions in here, we want to be stumped as well. If we don't know something, we want to be stumped, and we want to be able to learn something deeper on a deeper level, so we can give you guys coping tools and mechanisms to have the most incredible life that you can possibly have. So welcome Maitreya.
Yeah.
How are you today?
Yeah, I'm. It's a beautiful day. It's like the sun's out. I was just out and about, just before now, and yeah, everyone's just going for walks, and even though there's all this stuff happening, people seem to just live their life. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thought as well, that, it's the only thing that we can control is the way that we are showing up in the world. So, and it's not to say that, in our household at the moment, one of our friends has passed just over the weekend. And, it brings up different emotions. I see death as just it's sad for people, but I see it as I'm really like this circle of life thing, and that we're not just on this timeline. So there's multiple versions of ourselves happening at any one time, and it's just that this person in this particular timeline has decided as not here anymore. And I've always been that way, ever since I can remember, that it's just this thing of a celebration of their being around. And I've been watching other people, and everyone mourns in a different way. We've just gone totally left field of where we were going to go. But anyway, this is,
I think it's relevant,
suppose,
actually. Yeah.
yeah, well, it definitely is. It's not the only person that I've heard of. It's, there's a lot of people that either once removed or, 3 times removed. A lot of young people are, not coping at all with what's going on around them. And that's, I suppose, the essence of what we're doing on these Thursday programs.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
You mentioned death. Like, I think that's the thing everyone fears the most, right? It's the one thing that we're always trying to run away from or not think about,
Yeah.
because we love life so much, right? And we want it to last forever. And so now we've got this situation that the whole world is, affected by. So, and that's presenting that, the elephant in the room, that that thing that nobody wants to look at or think about until we have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And so this is bringing up a lot of things for people. That's what I'm witnessing.
Yeah.
Happening to humanity.
Yeah. totally. And I think that's death is the one certain thing that we know. We know that if we are born, we know the other end is at one point in another. That is the only thing that is certain. There's probably and I feel that a lot of people aren't living their best life, and that's probably why they fear death. What's your thoughts on that?
Not living their best life. I guess for me, that's not going after my dreams, not going after, not even believing that those things were possible.
Yeah.
And just, what's the word? Like just accepting my, how life is, and, just doing what I'm told, basically.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, through my own family structure and things like that. Like my background, my culture is very traditional, very like academic focused. So
Yeah.
for me personally, like going and being an entrepreneur or doing something left field, like just totally different to, going to school, getting the grades, going to university, getting a degree, then getting, something that's secure. That's what I find. Like I found myself in that. I see a lot of people also in that same boat. And now, like, I guess this is the thing. It's like, now people don't have that security. It's been taken from them. So people need to like kind of go, have to be creative and think outside the box and do something else to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There's that to survive, and then there's that thrive. So let's delve into some ways that people can jump back into not just the surviving, but really coming. I like to say when we come back into our body, we're coming home. We're coming back into our, this is where we really belong. It's not up here or wondering what anybody else is worried about. And they talk about when we get into anxiety that we're worried about or fearful about what's going to happen in the future. So how would you best describe for somebody to come back into this here now moment? What would be some of your tips to do that?
Yeah. So I think the word that comes to mind is judgment. Like the person that judges what I'm seeing, and that tends to happen. Like you'll just get thoughts in your head, and those thoughts they'll create suggestions. Well, maybe this is what this person is saying, or like the truth is your thoughts aren't accurate. Like you can never really like understand what a situation or circumstance is. And the best place to be is actually to just sit with that and just just be in a place of grace or love. Just hold it and try to understand, like, how is this teaching me? And that's a difficult thing to do because there's like thoughts are really powerful and they can sort of like grab hold of our views and even what we say. So like if you're caught in the tide of all of these thoughts, which are coming from all sorts of places, it's really hard to break out of. One of the things that I've been focusing on a lot since for the last 24 months has been going inwards. Trying to get hold of my thoughts and not being a victim to my thoughts, but rather being the commander of my thoughts. being the one that's overseeing my thoughts and being able to choose what thought I actually would like to, if I want to entertain, but I
Yeah.
don't need to. I can just watch it and be the witness. And there's a feeling that emerges from that, which is just calm and peace.
Yeah.
And not only that, but it's clarity. Like it's just a clear mind. When you're not getting drawn into these thoughts, you tend to find yourself being able to see things more clearly, and the quality of your thinking also increases, is what I find.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're able to
Yeah.
respond better as well. Like you, instead of having a reaction to a situation or
Totally.
circumstance, which is always going to come at you, you're more equipped to deal with that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I think too, like there's this thing that I teach my clients is that every time you have one shitty thought, or you say one shitty thing about yourself or even somebody else, because there's that ripple effect, karma, if you will, or just whatever you believe in, one horrible thing, you need to say 1,000 nice things.
Wow, I love that.
That's like a big thing. So, and we're talking to ourselves all the time. So every thought that we have in our mind, one thing that I learned from a beautiful woman is she says, that's interesting. So it's something that is not very loving to yourself, or if, even if you're driving in the car and someone cuts you off, instead of going, whatever,
Yeah.
there's probably a few expletives in there. Instead of going saying that, just go, that's interesting. Or even if you're at home and you dropping your favorite crystal, or, even I did break this at one time. I was like, oh, it's a
What is that?
beautiful. It is. It is.
Oh, wow. I can
Yeah.
already feel like the reverberations. That's amazing.
Yeah. So I did have to, overcompensate for myself when it's like an overcompensation. So that's why, like, when you're shifting your mindset, or shifting the way that you feel about yourself, or sometimes you have a emergence, but then it feels like a little bit of tough work because you're not used to doing it. Because if you've been in one particular way of thinking for a very long time, you have to reprogram your brain and fire different wiring in there. So each time that you say something beautiful to yourself, there's part of your brain that's going to say, even if for me, if it's I love yous, saying I love you in the mirror for somebody, sometimes if
That's really
they've been
powerful.
hating on themselves,
Yeah.
it is very powerful, but it can feel very clunky, especially
Yeah.
if every time you look in the mirror, you're like, oh, look at these lines, might need a bit of a lift. Oh my goodness, my hair's this. Oh my goodness. Like, if that's even if it's just a thought, so each one of those thoughts that I've just had, I have to, if there was that's 5,000 things now that I have to say to myself to counteract those 5 things.
Right.
So if we say that's interesting and sit with that thought as well and go, all right, why is that? Why am I saying that to myself? This can implement those good coping mechanisms that we need, because we only know what we've been taught. So if your mom or your dad, have been, like I'm always on a diet, or I have to put my lipstick on before I go out. Your dad probably wasn't saying that, was he, Treya? Putting his lipstick on before he
I
goes
hope
out?
not. I mean, I don't.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just jesting. Yeah. Uh, we are trained by our parents, and they are only doing the best thing that they know as well, because maybe they didn't, this thing of self-love is it's not a new thing, but it's not something that we've been taught with ourselves. There's some cultures that still instill that into their being, and but at school, where if we don't get something right, we're dumb, or we're not this, or we're not that. So it's about remembering that we are having this beautiful journey, and that we're learning every single day.
Yeah.
And each time that we learn something new, we get to cope with something in a different way. And I really love bringing in sound into things. We've spoken about this before, and maybe I'll play the triangle a little bit more for people, because I find that when we bring sound into our day, and if it's a beautiful sound, like some people love heavy metal, and that works well for them, but our bodies are over 70% water. So if we can bring a beautiful sound in there, we're changing the molecules of our water in our body, that makes us feel better.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been studies that I believe the name of the person that conducted this study is known as Dr. Emoto. If you search that
Yeah, correct.
over the internet, but an experiment was done, just magnifying or looking at the molecules of water in different emotions. So a person would verbalize an emotion towards one glass of water, be it anger or hatred or love or gratitude, and you would see the particle of that water take form. Like if it was gratitude or love, the
Yeah.
the molecule the structure would be like,
Yeah.
almost like in the shape of a snowflake, and then you saw like anger or hatred, and it would be this really crumpled up kind of structure. And you see that and you're like, wow, like our emotions are really powerful. And if our bodies are made up 70% water, then you could sort of get an idea of how whatever we're all sharing in the space, like the emotions, high anxiety and all of that, like how it can actually affect the body as well.
Yeah, totally. So that brings me to the new thing. So if we're saying like I love you and things like that, shall we put a little challenge out there for everyone?
Mm-hmm.
How about
Go
we
on.
give everyone a little challenge of every morning when they wake up, thanking themselves.
That's an amazing challenge. Yeah.
Whatever it is, if you have 100 things, beautiful. Even if it's something simple, if you've never done this before, I invite you to, as you open your eyes, say thank you for the breath that I'm about to receive, and thank you for this new day. That's all you have to say.
Yeah. And just feel the shift inside you. Like
Mm.
it does, like I actually do this every morning. I'll do like when I wake up, and I didn't do it today, but I should do it. I do it most days. Where like I'll write down whatever. It's sort of like free flow writing. Like I'm thankful
Yeah.
for my bed. I'm thankful for my body. I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for the air that I breathe. I'm thankful for God. I'm thankful for spirit. I'm thankful for energy. I'm thankful for food. I'm thankful for the sun. And like it just amplifies, the more that you express this gratitude. And yeah, what I find is you just feel like you're on cloud nine, like whatever you're doing. And that's, you mentioned like how do you thrive in circumstances like this? I would
Yeah.
say it actually takes, like, you got to take it, you got to put effort into, I think people actually put effort into things because they feel like it's a necessity, like the just the practical things, day-to-day things that everyone does. But when it comes to self-care, self-love, saying the I love yous, all of those positive affirmations to yourself, and having that gratitude and feeling that gratitude in your body, like for some reason it feels like it takes more effort to do that. But if you
Oh,
if you
yeah.
devote as much time to those
Mm.
practices, it does actually shift everything, and you do feel like you're thriving. And it's like whatever can happen around you, all of the chaos, and it won't matter, because your inner world is really like it's really
Yeah.
great.
And I'm going with the feeling today, and I'm just feeling if anyone would like a list of gratitudes, if they're unsure, if they're really stuck within where they are at the moment, if they're in a dark place or anything like that, I really want to offer everyone, if you drop in the comments, please help, or just write thank you. I will personal message you, and I will send you a PDF with some gratitudes on there that you can say. And both Maitreya and myself invite you to just try this in the morning. Don't push yourself too hard. We're not going to say do it 3 times a day or anything like that. Start small. And even if I'm going to drop it in the comment before, even if you just say, thank you for my breath, thank you for another day. We really want to hear from you how things start to change in your life. Got anything else to put in, Maitreya?
um no, I would say just like be gentle on yourself, because a lot of these things is not anyone's fault, really. And you just gotta, I tend to be hard on myself, and I tend to blame myself a lot for this and that. And it's really like, just be gentle to yourself. Make sure you're looking after yourself. And also, like, see, interesting, like, men and women both deal with these situations differently. I feel like women carry a lot of the pain that, everyone is feeling, and you guys are very sensitive to all of it. And then men, tend to bottle things up, and they, and so that's a different kind of pain as well.
Yeah.
So like, this is, there's a lot of people out there that are going through hell. Like, even I feel it, every day I'll feel it. Like, even though I mentioned, like, I'm thriving, like, I'll feel it every day.
Yeah.
And like, that actually inspires me to go deeper within myself, so that I can be a force for myself, but also be like this light for other people around me.
Yeah.
And I think if each of us actually did our part in that, to nourish ourselves and be a light and just smile, or at least
Yeah.
do your utmost to bring that joy into your own life, that's enough to actually create this ripple around everyone, and
Yeah.
things can
Definitely.
change so quickly, like even the people that make the rules and whatnot are human beings, and we all want to feel loved, so it's actually, we don't have to do so much as to just be loved, and just be happy
Yeah.
and joyful. Yeah.
Awesome. And I think next week what we'll do, so we'll delve deeper into how we can self-care, because a lot of people talk about this self-care. What is self-care? We're going to just really nut it out for you guys. And whoever's on or whoever watches the replay, we'll just have like a PDF as well that we can send out to you guys, so that you can really start thinking about the best way that you can care for yourself. There's, drinking enough water, making sure you eat and certain things, but there's, different people need to feel life in a different way. And it's not for us we can give you some guidelines or things that work for us, but you just need to experiment as well what works for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So thank you, Maitreya, for coming on. It has been quite beautiful. I'm going to finish off our beautiful call with this beautiful triangle. It is at the base chakra. It's a C. It's a 6C, I think. So it's a C for the base chakra. And everyone, just have a little bit of love. Thank you, everyone. We would love to know whether you've watched this live or whether you've watched it on the replay. Please reach out if you need help with the things to be thankful for, or if you need a little list just to give you a bit of a guide. We are here to support you, to support humankind, to be able to maneuver our way through the way that we show up in the world, and to show you how to bring more love into your life and beam it out. We are here as guiding lights. Thank you, Maitreya, for guiding us today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm Samantha-Jayne Love. Big love to everyone.